From a president offering Denmark $100 million in literal gold bars to building secret military bases during World War II that we just never left, to Trump threatening tariffs if Denmark doesn't fork it over. This is America's obsession with Greenland, and it's not about the ice. It's about spotting Russian missiles before they blow us up. It's about Trump's $175 billion missile shield, and it's about minerals worth trillions that China currently hoards. Basically, Greenland is the most important frozen rock on Earth. Now guys, I'm Uncle Sammy, and let's break down why the US is trying to take a giant ice cube from Denmark. So, what even is Greenland? It's massive. It's 3 times the size of Texas, but only 57,000 people actually live there. That's one small American town spread across an area bigger than Alaska. And guys, here's the kicker. Denmark, they own it. Yeah, a tiny European country smaller than West Virginia somehow controls the world's largest island that sits way closer to North America than Europe does. Oh, and despite the name Greenland, it's actually mostly ice. Meanwhile, Iceland is actually green. The Vikings absolutely trolled us on that one, guys. Classic Viking move, honestly. But the trolling stops there, cause what's under that ice is making America very interested. So when did America's obsession actually start? Well, it goes back to 1867, when Secretary of State William Seward, working under President Andrew Johnson, turned his attention to Greenland right after buying Alaska. Seward had just convinced the US to drop $7.2 million on Alaska, which everyone thought was insane at the time. They literally called it Seward's Folly, but Seward didn't care. He was obsessed with northern expansion and saw the strategic value of controlling Arctic territory. So naturally, he proposed buying Greenland from Denmark. Denmark's response, however, no thanks, but Seward planted a seed that never went away. Fast forward to World War I, and President Woodrow Wilson had some concerns about Greenland's strategic location, but he never made a serious offer. And then came World War II, which completely changed everything, but we'll get to that in a second. Because after the war ended in 1946, President Harry Truman looked at what just happened and he thought, yeah, we need to own that place. So Truman offered Denmark $100 million in gold. That is over $1.5 billion in today's money. Truman had just seen firsthand how valuable Greenland was for military bases and early warning systems. He figured that Denmark would cash out. Denmark's response, however, was hell no, they weren't selling. But here's the pattern that keeps repeating. America tries to buy Greenland, Denmark says no, and yet somehow the US never actually leaves. So, remember how Denmark refused to sell? Well, World War II gave President Franklin D. Roosevelt the perfect workaround. Because in 1940, Nazi Germany invaded and occupied Denmark, and suddenly Denmark couldn't defend Greenland anymore because, they were a little busy being invaded. So FDR swooped in and he said, "Don't worry, Denmark, we'll protect Greenland from the Nazis for you." Which is very generous. And the US military built multiple bases across the island to make sure Germany didn't get any ideas. The crown jewel? Thule Air Base, established in 1943 under Roosevelt, and here's the thing, Thule is still operational today. It's one of the northernmost military bases in the entire world. Sitting about 750 miles from the North Pole, right now, there are about 600 US military personnel permanently stationed there, running an early warning system that can detect missiles and aircraft coming from Russia. It's basically a giant watchtower pointed directly at our old Cold War rival. So yeah, Denmark technically owns Greenland, but the US controls the defense. FDR moved in during World War II to help out, built permanent military infrastructure, and every president since has kept it running. It's kind of like your friend crashes on your couch for a weekend and just never moves out, except with missiles and radar systems. We're still on that couch, by the way. And those bases became absolutely critical during the Cold War. Because here's the thing most people don't realize. If you look at a map, the shortest route for Russian missiles to hit America goes right over the Arctic, right over Greenland. So if the Soviets decided to launch nukes, Greenland's radar systems would spot them first. Geography is everything. Well, the Cold War is over though, right? Well, not really. You see, Russia is still there, still building missiles. Every president since has kept Thule running. It tracks Russian missile activity, satellites, space debris, whatever, and no president is giving that up. So, why is this blowing up right now? Well, it's because Trump is threatening 8 European countries with tariffs if they don't hand over Greenland. He's saying it's vital for his Golden Dome missile shield. And honestly, he's not wrong. Things have changed. Russia is more aggressive, China is making moves, climate change is melting the ice way faster than predicted, and Greenland is not just important, it's becoming the most valuable real estate on Earth. Because Russia and China aren't sitting around waiting, Russia is building new Arctic bases. China is funding projects in Greenland trying to buy their way in. Both want the Arctic, and if we don't lock it down, then one of them will. This isn't hypothetical. Russia is testing weapons up there right now. China's calling themselves a near-Arctic nation, even though they're nowhere close. That's not even how maps work. But sure, the race is on. But wait, there's more. Climate change is melting the ice sheet, which opens up two huge things. First, rare earth minerals worth trillions. The stuff we need for phones, cars, military tech. China controls 80% of global supply. Greenland might just break that monopoly. Oh, and another thing, shipping routes. The Northwest Passage cuts through the Arctic. Right now, it's frozen most of the year, but by year 2050, it could be open year-round. That saves weeks of shipping time between Asia and Europe, billions in saved costs, and whoever controls Greenland controls that route. Pretty valuable toll booth if you're asking me. And there you have it. America's been trying to get Greenland for 150 years. We built bases there in 1943 and we never left. Denmark keeps saying no, but the military advantage, the Russian and Chinese threats, the resources, the shipping routes, all of that is real and it's not going away. And guys, I'm Uncle Sammy, and if you enjoyed this, then hit that subscribe button. There's a lot more American history insanity where this came from.